I'm Michael Cirino. I'm here at the Future of Hospitality Summit in Riyadh, and I'm talking with Muin, the CEO of AMSA Hospitality, one of the most interesting hospitality brands here in Riyadh. I believe because of your vision and your why on hospitality. And I'd love to hear you just explain it in your own words, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the invite. As a matter of fact, as you mentioned it rightly, AMSA Hospitality is a unique hospitality company born in Saudi Arabia with a vision to be hallmark of Saudi hospitality. Let's go back step into how the culture of Saudi Arabia is really forming. Saudi Arabia culture is formed into an extreme hospitality. So it comes in the DNA as a culture. So having said that, so much international chains and so many international chains are in town, are in the market trying to grab from this big cake, distributing so many hotels. So when we came in with the vision that we want to be a Saudi company with an internationally flagged, powered with an academy, hospitality academy, that can translate this relation together. So if you can catch this triangle of excellence between the Saudi culture, the academy, and the international brand, you have the perfect recipe for the success.
So this is one of the things that I learned last year at FHS was the need for trained talent to be both able to understand the international needs, but also have that local passion for hospitality like you're talking about, so that it feels authentic. How does the academy, how do you use the academy to do that, connect those dots? Because that was, again, one of the things that AMSA is really focused on, making sure that your team knows how to perform like that.
Absolutely. One of the key mandates for us that we have distributed, or we are opening hotels in Saudi Arabia, different part of the world. So I always believe on one concept, and this is the vision of the company. If you want to grow local, or if you want to expand local, you have to develop local.
Yes.
Very straightforward. So the role of the academy is a major role on this scenario. So when we are exploring an opportunity in a different market, for example, the most important thing is that we take with us the academy in order to start getting the staff and the associates and the colleagues ready to the next step. So we develop from the market, and we don't want to end up like people serving from outside the market, and during the weekend, they go back to their home country. This is not the vision. We need to make sure that, we're stabilizing local talent, and we're growing the local talent, and we create the reason why for them being local market, their place, near to home, and serving with international brand.
All right, I'm going to ask you some fun questions now,
Please.
and then I'll have one kind of more financial at the end. Whether it's a high-end audio lounge in New York, a museum in London, a brand new hotel here in Riyadh, or wherever, what is a physical space, one new physical space where the hardware, the structure made you have a sense of awe?
The entrance of the place.
Yeah? So like, what is like something that, like, as a designer of these spaces, what is the magic that you see in those bits?
I need to connect. If I manage to connect what I see as a visuality with something, I cannot explain it. I can say wow.
Okay, you say wow. Yeah.
It's a wow.
It's a wow, yeah.
Yeah.
And that wow thing for me is part of what I think Saudi Arabia is very good at, and is something that is polishing, right?
Yeah.
The wows that were started were very exceptional from grandeur, but now the exceptionality is getting into the details and into the perfection.
True.
And it's that kind of academy energy and focus that I really see it evolving it. All right, here's another question. What is an industry trend that you think people are totally getting right now? And what is something that they're maybe missing?
We are innovating our DNA. Our DNA, which is the culture of hospitality, what we're doing, we're innovating this one. So now you will find hotels coming with the creative ideas. How can I be unique on my arrival experience? How can I be unique in my welcoming? The Arabic cafe and the dates is now, it's a common, and that's in all hotels. But how can I make it different? How can I elaborate it? How can I add the twist of wow factor to that relation?
100%. Is there a recent project that you're particularly proud of, or one that you're getting excited about right now that you'd like to tell us about?
It's difficult to differentiate your kids which one you like.
I totally understand, yes.
So, all of them have a unique flavor, I have to say. And also we are fortunate that my vice chairman is, I would say, from a young talent who always likes to challenge us with the quality, not the quantity.
Yes.
And adding to this, he always likes to have a unique selling point to each property we're having, even with brands what we are outlining. For example, when we are launching the first handwritten product in Saudi Arabia,
Yes.
the idea behind the handwritten is that you have to be an exclusive brand, comes from the local customs. So this was just only the introductory, but if you've seen what we did inside with the art authority, for example, in order to make this synergies between the partnership what we have with the public to the private, will present a key factor and a key hotel that will create the wow.
Sorry. So now here, when I talk to a lot, we're at an investor conference. We
Right.
talk to a lot of operators, the hospitality industry. You have to be ruthless with a majority of your budget, right? So that you can have the flexibility to spend on wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a number when you're looking at one of these properties where you as a developer says, I got to spend 10, 12% of this budget to make sure it does that local cultural integration? And I'm saying that because if you as the boss don't set that budget aside with that less ruthless energy, right? Where we can say, the detergent is clean, we got all our staffing is set up, we're construction management set, but then there's got to be a little bit of flexibility for the wow. How do you give them that flexibility, or how do you empower your team to have both the financial ruthlessness and also the magical wow?
To be honest with you, I mean, it doesn't start just only when we receive the guests. It comes from the design.
100%, yeah.
So from the design here, you create the wow factor because you have to build the storytelling first. And from the storytelling, as we did, we saw all our hotels. We go over with the designers. We tell them what's our storytelling. And from here, we are making sure that the designer is really observing this storytelling and starting really elaborating on this. And we always say that we need to make sure that you understood the message, make sure that somebody else comes and express it to us from your language.
Yes.
So if we manage to have people who basically can take that and take that storytelling, so we know that we're going to have a very successful design, and from here we continue with the journey.
I mean, that integration on property for off property is the cultural mix, and hearing how you guys are doing it, this is the fun thing for me here, right? Because that is the success of a property in my mind. How you create that interaction between the local community and the property, and how you keep the energy flowing in and out. The guests feel that, the staff feels that, and the businesses around these properties that you're building will feel it too, which will make it feel like a community instead of just a property and a destination, right?
I'm happy you mentioned the word community. We always believe that when we develop a hotel, we don't develop a hotel just only for the hotel itself, for the ROI of the hotel. We look into the community, what we can add value to the community. We look to the surrounding, how we can protect even the culture of the community. When we developed just recently a hotel in Qasim, which is a very, outgoing when it comes to the development happening on that city. We did make sure that the assets, what we are coming in, to be unique, that can add value to the community. And it's not only keys or beds or just a space. No, we need to make sure that this community will come and say that this hotel did a great job being on this place.
And that's where the locals are going to recommend to their friends.
Absolutely.
Because it feels like they're home, right?
Absolutely.
You can't stay in my house because there's too many people coming. Stay over here. This is the closest.
It's close to my home and it's similarity to my home.
Exactly, right? That's the energy. What is a dream project that you and your team have been thinking about? Something that's maybe not attached to reality, but that you are thinking about for 5, 10 years in the future and aspiring towards?
We just recently concluded our strategy for the coming 10 years, and we have a very aggressive planning for this. And, the number of properties which is being outlined on the strategy that we will cross 53 number of assets that we will be managing. So it's difficult for me to choose any one of these 53 assets, but each one of them, I'm sure they will be a unique. And, we in hospitality as the film directors, when you do one film, yes, your concern is to make sure that you are doing a great job on this, but you always look into what my next.
Yes.
And that's exactly. And this is we're fortunate that, we have, each year we have a target, and this target is basically dotting really the dots and the KPIs of AMSA and working the pillars of the strategy. So when we start setting the movement for the next year, for example, 2027, from now I could tell you, we have very interesting projects That's will create, I would say, a reason why to the whole markets, not only for us as AMSA.
I mean, it sounds like a cultural leader driving both development, but also that cultural integration with the community. That is what I think the region needs right now, not just more buildings built, but more destinations that do that become a center of gravity.
For sure.
This last question, and then we both have to run to our next busy meetings, right? In one sentence, sir, what do you think the future of hospitality is?
Optimistic.
There we go.